Hi everybody, John Roberts back again in the Explorer. This time I'm going to be talking about fresh water. How do you clean up your fresh water system? A lot of people who have Class B camper vans like this one don't like to drink water from their freshwater tanks or freshwater system, typically because it's nasty. But what I have done is that I've disinfected my tank, and now I'm going to try to make it taste a little bit fresher with this Camco product. I don't know how well you can see that. Well, this is Camco Spring Fresh. It's about a gallon worth. And what it is, you're supposed to pour that into your tank, slosh it around a bit, and run it through your pipes. And that makes your freshwater system taste fresher. First off, how you disinfect it, and I've already done this. The process for this stuff is similar. I'll point out the differences as I go. So I'll just show you how I do the Spring Fresh. You put in about a quarter cup of bleach, 5 gallons of water, drive around for a bit, and just kind of sloshes it around in the tank, disinfects it. Then run that diluted bleach mixture through all your pipes. It kills all the bacteria, the gunge, anything that might be living in there, dead meat. So I'm going to do this now with the Spring Fresh to try hopefully make my water taste a little bit nicer. And I'll show you how we do that. Like I say, the process of disinfecting your freshwater system is pretty much the same. Let's get to it. Start off by opening up the gravity fill for the water. Then we're just going to add everything right in there. I'm not even going to bother with a funnel. It says use about a quart and fill the tank 2/3 of the way. I have a 15-gallon tank, so that's going to be 2 of the 5-gallon buckets. Handy scale on the side there so you can see how much you've added. A little bit more. That'll do it, I think. And there we go, that's about 10 gallons. 2 5-gallon cans worth. Now here's one of my little annoyances. There's 10 gallons in my freshwater tank. Doesn't show up on my tank monitor though, because I think the sensor is toast. But I'm not worried about it, and I'll show you why. I have basically a built-in sight glass because I can just open it up here and look at the tank, and I can see. You can see where it changes from dark to light. So I'm a little more than half a tank, 2/3. It is on an incline, so I'd say that's 2/3 of a tank. Anyway, mission accomplished. The next step is really easy, because what we have to do now is slosh the water around in the tanks. Get everything nice and clean. To do that, we have to go for a drive. That's a bump. This is one of the prettier drives in this city. Right here we're crossing the Lafayette River, formerly known as Tanner's Creek. Now the city of Norfolk, Virginia was kind of a sleepy little port town all up until after World War II. After World War II, a bunch of sailors got out of the Navy. I mean, this was a big Navy base since 1919, I think. So a bunch of sailors got out of the Navy and they wanted a place to live. So there was a humongous boom in post-war construction here in the city of Norfolk. Ahead you can see one of the things that makes Norfolk special, to me at least. That is the Chrysler Museum of Art. And admission is free. It is a very well endowed museum of art. Dead ahead now as we crest the bridge is one of my favorite places in the city of Norfolk, the Little Theatre of Norfolk. A community theater organization has been in operation since 1927. Obviously, they had to shut down because of the pandemic, just like everybody else that normally has audiences has. But this is my immediate destination for now because they're happy to let me use the parking lot. Mainly because I volunteer here quite a bit. Bumpy driveway. Bump, bump, thud, bump, crouch. You hear the branches of the trees scraping against my roof. I'm going to let the engine run for a bit just to leave the AC running and cool down the inside of the van a little bit. While what I'm going to do is run that stuff that I poured into the tank through the taps. We'll run that until it stops foaming, and then I know that it's gone through all of the lines there. The last step that's actually on the bottle of the fresh stuff is that they want you to fill the tank up with clearing water and run it through twice to rinse out the whole system. So that step yet remains to be done. Well, that's some hellish lighting. But I will tell you one thing that I noticed now as I'm flushing that stuff through my water system. It smells nicer than the bleach. And it smells nicer than the antifreeze. So, presumably, it's doing what it's supposed to. It just kind of occurred to me, banging on about my water, that I haven't really done a tour of the RV yet, so let's take care of that now, so you can kind of see where I'm living when I'm on vacation. So yeah, driver's seat. This is a 1996 Dodge B3500, so it's got the old dash that was designed for the 1978 model year. Which I like. That gives it kind of a retro touch. I dig that. Got the typical Explorer front end here with the small overhead windows. And then you've got these two passenger seats, which I'm kind of disappointed by, to be honest. Because I don't carry passengers. I'm usually camping by myself, so these just take up a lot of room. So I'm thinking about taking them out. Anyway, immediately behind that, have the very small, very functional galley. 2-burner gas stove, which I keep a towel on so that the cover doesn't rattle when I'm going down the road. Sink that you just saw me doing earlier. And nice little refrigerator. It's a 3-way fridge, the old school Dometic. So that's another project I'm thinking of doing, is maybe changing that out for a 12-volt compressor fridge. It's got the old school fluorescent thin lights. There was also a mix of small incandescent lights in there, which I've changed over to LED already in the interest of saving power. But I kind of like the old fluorescents. I think I'm going to keep them for the immediate future. I don't run them that much. Opposite the kitchen area, I don't have a bathroom shower like the most Explorers do. Instead, I've got this kind of a setup, which I call my washroom and water closet. This is the washroom, so I have a small basin in there, along with a medicine cabinet. I keep my laundry stuff in here, shower stuff, towels and whatnot, and the water closet, which, as you see, is very functional, very small. When I sit on that, my head is right up against that shelf. Back here is the, kind of 4-space dinette area. Although typically when I'm on the road, converted it out because it was off season, but I typically set it up as a bed and leave it set up as a bed the entire camping season. So that's kind of the inside. As you can see, I have, of course, air conditioning and 2 more thin lights back there. a pantry on the curbside, hanging wardrobe on the roadside, and lots of storage. It's one thing that the Explorers were very good about, was having lots of places for your stuff. Oh yeah, this came with a microwave oven. Like the AC, the microwave only works if I'm plugged into shore power. And it has a fantastic fan, which that came that way from the factory, and I'm pretty pleased with that. Obviously that also functions as the exhaust fan for the galley and for the bathroom. The original furnace, had to have that cleaned out shortly after I got this, because mud daubers had gone in through the exhaust and completely clogged up the plenum with nests. These days I have a bug screen over those exhausts, so I don't have nearly the problems with mud daubers anymore. Just for grins and giggles, shot from all the way back looking forward. And a shot from all the way forward looking back. So there you have it. Disinfecting and cleaning your freshwater tanks. Obviously there's one more step to go, and that is to rinse the tanks twice. Drain them out, rinse them with straight fresh water, drain them, rinse, drain. So 2 rinse cycles, and then should be good to go. I'm not going to commit that to video because that would be boring. But hopefully in a future video I'll tell you how the water tastes, and you can make your own decision on whether or not that's a product you want to get. Like I said, this is a 1996 Dodge van, so the chassis is now a quarter century old. But that's one place where I lucked out that, like I said, I'm the 4th owner. Apparently none of the previous owners used it very much. So right now I only have 76,353 miles on the clock. Barely even broken in. Main Street here, this turns us into where Nauticus lives. And this is obviously a parking lot, so you have to go really slow in here. Oh! Excuse me. I just parked anywhere. But this is something that not every city has. We have our own battleship. This is BB-64, the former USS Wisconsin. She was owned by the Navy Historical and Heritage Center until they basically just gave her to the city of Norfolk. So the city is responsible now for her care and upkeep. But we have our own battleship. How cool is that?